Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us for the 4 o'clock show today. It's an important one. I'd like to welcome my first guests, Wendy and Dean Fashion. Thank you for coming back today.
Thank you for having us, Kate.
Thank you for having us.
I appreciate parents of Neil Fashion who bravely fought a DIPG diagnosis. And tomorrow is World DIPG Awareness Day. So I wanted you to come in because there's a number of things going on about this increasingly prevalent form of childhood brain tumor cancer. So talk with us about, we've talked about legislation before, but the Awareness Day, what you want folks to know.
Okay. Well, the Awareness Day is all about more people learning about DIPG and what it is. It's childhood pediatric brain cancer. It strikes 200 to 400 children per year, and median survival time for these kids is 9 months. So it's
From diagnosis.
From diagnosis. And it's usually diagnosed in 4 to 11-year-olds. Our son was sort of way off, an outlier at 19 years old. And so parents have been getting together on a national level to pass a resolution, HRES 69 in Washington, D.C. And so they, I think 4 weeks ago, roughly 50 parents of who had lost children to DIPG and some that are still fighting the battle went to Washington for a whole week and visited with different congressmen and senators to promote or to get them to support a resolution, Resolution 69, recognizing May 17th as DIPG Awareness Day.
And we had an opportunity to speak with Senator Jack Reed about that as well, about a week ago.
And so what was the reception down in D.C. as you're trying to bring awareness to this?
It's been tough for them. From what we understand, there has not been a resolution passed at federal level for anything since 2012. And I guess they feel that if a resolution is passed, then everybody's going to want their resolution passed, and that gets them all tied up. But this is something that parents of DIPG patients and doctors and other people feel is something that's really important to raise awareness about. Part of the raising the awareness is, begins with the disease itself and diagnosis. It starts with symptoms. Actually, stop and say that DIPG stands for diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. And what that is, it's in because it's pontine, it's in the brainstem. It's diffused throughout the glial tissue of the brainstem. And
because of that, it's inoperable. It's intertwined like, a ball of yarn and spaghetti all together.
And it's traditional, or for the past 40 years, it has been treated with radiation therapy.
Which the National Center for Biotechnology states quite plainly in its description of DIPG that radiation has no survival benefit. It has some symptom alleviation in 70 to 80% of cases, but as far as survival is concerned, which the FDA considers kind of the gold standard of cancer therapies, it has no survival benefit.
Let's talk a little bit about Neil's fight, because this was to have the right to try what the family wants to do, as it pertains to experimental approaches, because where things currently stand with DIPG. Talk with us a little bit about Neil's story and the decision to pursue, again, these experimental approaches.
Okay.
Well, when we first discovered that Neil had this disease, we did a lot of research quickly, and we found out about radiation. We found out about immunotherapy clinical trials that were starting to happen. We found out about something called convection-enhanced delivery of chemotherapy by putting a little hole in the back of the head and putting in a little straw and actually delivering chemo directly to that area. Long story short, nothing to date at that time had shown any survival benefit, quote unquote, and Neil was like, if I'm gonna be gone in 3 months, which is basically what they told him, his prognosis was 3 months, I want to try something. I'd like to try for the brass ring if there's any out there. So we did a lot of research on that too, and we found a brass ring. It's very controversial, but the Brzezinski Clinic has a handful of DIPG survivors, and we know for a fact that's not make-believe. We ended up speaking with 2 over the course of Neil's treatment, and we know of another 1 at least. That's not to say everyone was cured that's been treated there, because there's a lot of genes that are involved in DIPG. Not every patient has the same configuration of genes that are malfunctioning. And, you know, it's not a sure thing by any means, but he's had results. Neil himself survived for 9 months, longer than his prognosis. So that in the FDA's terms of survival is fairly significant. And so there's that. There's also a clinic in Monterrey, Mexico that's been having very good results in terms of survival for months longer than the prognosis, with a combination of immunotherapy and a cocktail of chemotherapies delivered through an intra-arterial shunt of some sort. I'm not quite sure about, but they snake it up through your groin and all the way up to the tumor. And also there's a lot of evidence that medical marijuana has had terrific benefits for people with cancer and brain cancer patients as well. The DIPG, because of its multifaceted nature, really screams out for a multifaceted approach. And, you know, we think that anyone who's willing to step up and experiment, when they're told they've got 3 months, they've got nothing to lose, and they want to step up and experiment, they should be encouraged and supported as much as possible. Whereas we got shut down for a while and had to go to court to get back our right to try. I mean, yeah, for Neil. But.
And at the state level, we've talked about this, the right to try legislation to allow families to have this and not be stopped from pursuing these options. And currently here in Rhode Island, looking to still have something passed, yes?
Yeah.
Well, they're supposedly voting maybe right as we're speaking with you right now. The House passed the bill last year unanimously. It ran into a roadblock in the Senate, and we're crossing our fingers that we get similar response from the House and that the Senate has an epiphany because it's really something. It's a rights issue. And anyone who's facing death square in the face should be able to do whatever it is they think is best for their chances.
And you've been such strong advocates since the passing of Neil. What do you tell families and when you hear that they get diagnosis for their children with DIPG?
It's all you can do is, you know, be encouraging, tell them to stay strong. It's hard to know what to say. It is really, really difficult to know what to say.
Yeah, even having gone through it. I mean, it's devastating. It's a devastating thing to find out. And yeah, just be supportive. Let them know you're there. You know, a lot of social media outreach is going on, and that's a terrific thing. And I know.
Yeah, I'm involved on Facebook. There's a number of DIPG-focused Facebook pages for advocacy, for people looking for support while they're going through treatment. And people get on there and they share their stories. They ask their questions of the community that's on there. Yeah. You know, have you tried this? We're looking into this. And people will just, you know, start, you know, the comments just go bing, 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 bing. There's just a lot of active conversation going on there, which it's great to have that kind of support. It really is.
And raising awareness, of course, some of the goals I'm sure are to get more research funding.
Absolutely.
For DIPG.
We get more research funding because it's tough to put an exact number, but it sounds like dozens, if not several dozens of genes are involved in DIPG. It's like it's a cascading failure, and
it morphs as it goes, as it develops. So more genes can turn on and off as you're going along. So it's constantly changing.
Anybody who comes up with a therapy that actually has a fairly high success rate is going to be curing a lot of other cancers. It's an experimental opportunity. And that's another big reason I think that awareness is important. It's not something that, just because it happens to a few people, those few people could be the key to discovering a cure that's going to have a much wider application.
Now, Dean, you're wearing a Camp Sunshine hat. Do you want to talk with us a little bit about that?
Camp Sunshine is a marvelously supportive place for families who are dealing, first and foremost, for families who have a child who is suffering from a terminal illness. It could be cancer, it could be something else.
Life-threatening, yeah.
Life-threatening illness. They offer the opportunity to come to camp for a week, and they have special counselors for all the kids, and they have doctors on staff, and it's basically all the needs of the family are taken care of for that week. And it's, you know, when you're dealing with something as traumatic as a child who's fighting that sort of thing, to have an opportunity like that, to be with others who are in a similar boat, but also to have your entertainment
and fun
and a chance to laugh and just connect with people. It's unbelievable. They also have a bereavement camp, which we were fortunate enough to attend after you've lost a child, and again, it was an opportunity to connect with people who've been through similar things, and it's tough to. I mean, you know, as you hear, oh, you don't know what I've been through. Well, it's not that bad, but you can imagine it sucks. And it's like having part of your root structure pulled out. A part of our future is gone. It's not like losing a parent or a grandparent or something like that. So that Camp Sunshine is a very special place to help people who've really gone through this situation have a chance to drop all their guard and communicate and relate to each other.
So tomorrow is DIPG Awareness Day.
In Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island. What's the day look like for you tomorrow?
I don't know.
We'll beat the bushes as best we can.
Yeah.
See, we sent out press kits all over the place, and we thank you very much for the opportunity to come and speak with you. And if we have an opportunity to speak with, a radio show host or something like that, we'll jump on it.
We've got the papers.
We
They all
know
come out. A lot of them
several
come
of
out
the
on
local
Thursdays.
papers are going to be, covering it. I don't know if Projo picked it up or not, but I mean.
But you're here. We're letting folks know,
Yeah.
again, about
Absolutely.
the Awareness Day. And
Yes.
again, multifaceted, right to try legislation here in Rhode Island, as you said, before the Senate, as we speak.
No,
House.
House,
It's the House.
today.
It's the House today, and
Just
then
the
we're
fingers
looking,
crossed for
and then
the
we're
Senate.
looking for the Senate, and then of course at that national level, raising the awareness, having gone to D.C. and speaking about the resolution process, but saying this is why we want to increase this recognition, and again, steps being taken to address the root cause of it, and as you said, how it could have a cascading effect and impact so many other
Absolutely.
cancers as well.
Absolutely.
And,
But
yeah, there's a lot of research going on. It's been funded by DIPG parents. That's one thing I didn't mention earlier that I really want to mention.
Wow.
The funding isn't coming from federal funding. It's coming from parents who have started all kinds of private foundations, and it's just amazing what they have accomplished in, I think, the past 10 years. So, and the research that's coming out of the things they've invested into about DNA analysis, tissue analysis, they've really made a lot of headway. It's very encouraging.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come here. I appreciate your advocacy, letting folks know. We'll have more information, more links. Again, DIPG Awareness Day here in Rhode Island tomorrow, May 17th. Again, remembering Neil Fashion. Wendy and Dean, thank you for taking the time to come in today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm GoLocal News editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us for this important 4 o'clock show today. Just had Wendy and Dean Fashion here to talk about their son Neil, who passed away from DIPG, and tomorrow is DIPG Awareness Day, a very important segment to watch. We're going to tack now to raising awareness and support for research for breast cancer. Fred Magnanimi, Luca and Donnie,
how are you?
Thanks for coming in today, because they're trying to bring a little fun to an event this weekend. This is the Gloria Gemma Foundation on Saturday at Twin River, Bras for a Cause. Now this takes some gentlemen in the community participating, and yes, it does include bras. And Rick Simone of The Taste will be participating. And tell us about the Top Gun attire that you have on, because it's a movie theme. This, sounds like a good time to help support the foundation.
Yeah, so it's fun. They're obviously we're dressing up in bras. I don't actually know what my bra looks like yet, but all the proceeds, you've been on the bras, people can buy the bras, all the proceeds go to the Gloria Gemma Breast Cancer Resource Foundation. The theme is around 80s movies. So I've recruited a partner. We went back and forth between Rocky and Top Gun. We felt like Top Gun
What was the deciding factor to go with Top Gun?
I don't know, it's just one of those childhood, I always want to be a fighter pilot, and this is my one real opportunity to be on stage and have a little bit of Maverick and Goose. So yeah, we're excited.
Now, where'd you get this?
I bought this yesterday at the Army Navy surplus store on Pontiac Avenue. It is 2 sizes too small. So if you're at the event, you will actually see, if I'm Maverick, you'll see Goose have to actually let me out of the outfit a little bit to unveil the bra. We're super excited about it.
So the bra's going to be underneath. It's going to...
The bra's going to be underneath. We're going to do the big unveil. We're playing to win, Kate. So
okay. Don't scoot away from here. Take a little step closer. Okay. I don't want to lose you quite yet. So have you recruited a large army of supporters to come out and see you in action?
Yeah, not as much as I would have liked to. It's a little, a little difficult to ask people to come and watch me in a bra. But yeah, we've definitely helped spread the word, and we're excited about it. So.
Well, you've worked with the Gloria Gemma Foundation in the past. I mean, this is supposed to be an event just to bring some levity to a very serious cause.
Yeah, they're amazing. So obviously I think they're known for breast cancer, but they really provide a lot of support to anyone who's either gone through cancer themselves or family members. I lost my brother to cancer, and Maria, Carol, and the whole team there have been amazing, and anything that we can do to support them, especially being a local organization, is awesome. So I love those girls. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity, or myself the opportunity, to be a part of it, and look forward to working with them.
So talk a little bit about Luca and Donnie and your work in the community with supporting charitable organizations. This is not something new to you.
Yeah, I think part of the cool thing of starting a brand is it's a platform that allows us to go out and really connect with things that are important to us as a group. So obviously cancer to me is very near and dear to our heart. We've supported the Gloria Gemma Breast Cancer Resource Foundation. We've done some stuff with the Dana-Farber organization. We've got something coming up with an animal charity. We just did something with the Flutie Foundation for Autism. And we're actually doing something really, really fun actually next month for giraffes.
For giraffes?
So, yeah, it should be pretty cool.
And is there going to be a jewelry component?
Yeah, they'll all have bracelets or necklaces, and we'll donate a portion of the proceeds to the respective organization.
Excellent. Well, if you don't see Fred at Twin River on Saturday, there will be pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some video, and I'm looking forward to having all my friends comment.
There will be pictures, there will be a video, but again, it is to support a great cause. So if you get a good chuckle out of it, know that there's a good reason for doing this, and consider supporting, again, the organization that folks are going to turn out to. Again, including Rick Simone will be taking part as well. So I've got you here in studio. I've took you away from the business. What can we expect to see from Luca and Danny this summer?
We have an amazing summer collection. I'm a little biased because I created it, but it's a lot of shell, a lot of color.
A lot of shell?
Yeah, a lot of like natural shell,
okay.
Abalone, mother of pearl. The inspiration behind it was a New England summer, so I've got 3 young kids. Now going and doing a lot of things that I did as a child, like going to the beach and picking out shells. Weaved all of that stuff into our summer collection. I think it's very different than what we've done, but I think it's our best stuff yet. And the second half of the year, fall and holiday, again, a little biased, but I think they're amazing. We just hired a CMO. We'll officially announce who that individual is in a few weeks.
Okay.
And yeah, we're having fun building the brand. So
And how is business right now? There's a lot of talk about the economy, how things are doing. How's business?
It's good. I think retail is challenging. So for us, we have to find ways to really engage customers. But it's a good challenge, and we're looking forward to finding ways that we can really connect with customers through a lot of the digital channels, and then weaving that stuff into the brick and mortar location. So it's cool.
Now, is the New England Summer Collection available now?
June 8th. If you follow us on Instagram, I do tend to preview it in advance, and if you follow me on LinkedIn, I sneak peek everything. So.
Well, you want to get the buzz, you want to get people excited.
I get excited about it. I want to,
Yeah.
I want to bottle it up. I want to share it with the world.
Share it with people. Know what you want to maybe buy in advance.
Yeah.
How many pieces are we talking in the summer collection?
It's a big collection. There's probably 40 pieces, maybe 90 SKUs. So there's a lot there.
There's a lot, and it's I always talk with folks. The best place to be in the summer is New England. People might vacation elsewhere, but everybody comes here. So you talk about your childhood and what people know here in New England. I got to imagine this should hopefully get a lot of tourists as well if they want to take a little piece of New England away with them.
Yeah, and one of the things we wanted to do is really storytell around a New England summer. So like you'll see stuff around Newport, Watch Hill, like all the things that
A little specific to the areas.
Yeah, but I think we take for granted, and people, we have 500,000 social media followers. So to be able to go and take all these cool things about Rhode Island in summer, and really educate people about, what we think is special about the summer, we're excited about. And that's where the tools like Facebook and Instagram are such great resources.
Why Rhode Island summers are the best summers. They'll be encapsulated in Luke and Danny's summer collection. But again, this Saturday night, Gloria Gemma, Fred Magnanimous will be taking part again. If you want to see him in a bra, you can see him at Twin River. We'll provide links to that as well. But again, if there's photos, be sure to, again, support the Gloria Gemma Foundation. Fred, I appreciate you taking the time out of the busy day.
Yeah, and one last thing, it's my wife's 30th birthday.
Lori,
38th birthday, Lori, I love
happy
you.
birthday.
Happy birthday. She's gonna be so
Little
embarrassed
shout out.
tonight.
Oh, no. This is great. I don't
Happy
know if we've
birthday.
ever done a birthday shout out before. This is perfect. This
Yeah.
is what we're supposed to do.
She's got the stomach bug today, so
Oh, feel better.
but happy birthday, honey.
Happy birthday, Lori. Fred Magnanimous, thank you for taking the
Awesome.
time to
Yeah.
come in. I'll let
Thank
you
you
go
so
around
much.
the corner.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
An awareness raising day here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Up at 4 o'clock was Wendy and Dean Fashion, the parents of Neil Fashion, 20 years old when he passed away from DIPG. They have been staunch advocates for raising awareness and both right to try legislation. That's what happened when Neil petitioned the FDA to be able to try an experimental drug that enabled him to live longer than expected. Appreciate them taking the time to come in, as tomorrow here in Rhode Island, May 17th, is DIPG Day. And then Fred Magnanimous coming in for a good cause. We often talk jewelry, as we did about Luca and Danny, but again, this Saturday night at Twin River, taking part in the Gloria Gemma Foundation's Bras for a Cause. Sounds like it's going to be a good time for a great cause. And of course, Rick Simone's taking part as well, so we look forward to seeing coverage and pictures of that too. Speaking of Rick, 3 o'clock was cocktails. If you didn't catch the show, you can still hear clinking glasses here in the studio. The best of some new and innovative cocktails here in Rhode Island. Be sure to check that out. Tomorrow, we'll be at the State House for Go Local Live. And of course, big event taking place with the Go Local here in the city tomorrow night. Be sure to check that out as well. So we thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm Go Local News Editor Kate Nagel.